there are four things, three primaries and a secondary, which is important, but these first three are really important. Firstly, it's balance. Secondly, posture, which is obviously directly linked to balance. Third is stability, and the fourth one is mobility, or the potential for mobility. We just need to go over the difference between balance and stability. We found, certainly with students, it's the most misunderstood thing. Some people think balance is stability, some think it's the other way around, and this is really important. Balance is balance. Here, right now, Dan is balanced. But stability is balance when a force is applied, or balance when you are applying a force. Now, if you don't have stability, what will happen is the weakest chain of the body will show up, and you will either fail in your technique, you'll be broken down, or you won't be able to deliver with power. Let's show that. Let's say Dan's in our normal position. We call this Fudadachi. Some of you will call it Shizentai. But let's say Dan's feet are a little bit open. Now, nothing major, not so far open that his balance is lost, but enough open to be a bit casual. Teacher might not pick it up, but it's okay. Now, this is my point about stability. There is no problem with balance here at all. Let's turn him to the side though. It's slightly splayed. Now, in this position, when he bends his knees, look how the knees start to drift out, right? We'll show why that's important in a second. When he turns his feet forwards, now look at the angle. His knees go over his toes, much more stable. Let's say that there are a number of ways of doing this. I'm just going to show you a simple one with my hands. But let's say I trap his foot with his feet splayed. It is easier for me to start pushing the knee out, right? Whether I do it with a kick, sweep, hands, whatever. When his feet are forwards with his knees coming over his toes, that is a much harder position to get. Much, much harder position. Very important then that stability, remember, is balance when force is applied. Let's just use another example to show that. So, feet splayed, he bends, Charlie Chaplin knees, right? Feet forwards, knees over the toes. Right, let's see this from a Hiza Kansatsugeri, knee dislocation kick, or whatever you call it in your style. All right, so the feet splayed here, trap, fine. Look, when I apply pressure, fairly easy. With his feet square, trap, Hiza Kansatsu, same pressure, more pressure, doesn't move. That stability where you seal off the joint that is basically unstable under pressure. Let's look at one more scenario where stability really, really shows up. And it's in the standing attempt at a guard break. So we're here, Daniel-san stands up. Now look at this. Feet, very, very, very common. Of course, if we've got a gi on, he's going to have my hands, but for demonstration purpose, don't worry. Feet are out. That's the thing. I will hook this, and now it was no effort at all to just push here, legs gone, and I'm in a better position. If we repeat that, so Dan stands up, closes his feet off now. Now, I can't get that round, and actually if he starts to drive his knee into my hip, turn toward me, now I'm in a bad position. Now there's a potential open guard and the whole thing reverses. And that is just in shoring up that joint, in this instance the knee joint, from a stability perspective. Of course, the ultimate is to be able to deliver a technique from a position of power, from a pop, while simultaneously breaking down the pop in your opponent. In many ways, that is the holy grail of the martial arts.